I'm live. Hello, Victoria here. A little bit late, sorry, had a few technical issues, but I'm on now. So, for people who are not sure about what I'm talking about, it's ascension. And I know that a lot of people have heard the word or the term ascension and awakening and all that kind of thing. But basically, um, Ascension talks about consciousness and how our consciousness um, can vibrate at a certain level, and the more positive we think, the higher our consciousness. So that's what I'll be talking about today. So please let me know if you're here and listening to me, because I can't see any comments or anything at the moment. But I've already been live in my booth, which is Victoria Cochrane, the Spiritual Journey with Victoria exhibitor. And I have given away some books, and I will be back in my booth at about 11:15 doing quick card readings for people. I'm also taking appointments for bookings for psychic readings privately this afternoon, and they're $45, which you can just pay into my account. So if you would like one of those, that would be fantastic. So I don't know if Sarah can hear me, but I can't see any comments or anything. So can people comment in here, or it would be nice to know who's watching. Can't really see if anyone's watching or not, but hopefully you are. So in the workshop today, I just want to talk to you about how how the whole ascension thing started. And it's, back in 2012, there was a lot of talk about the 12th of the 12th, 2012. And this was basically the meditation that we saw, which was Mother Earth moving from 3D up to 5D. So third dimensional thinking is ego, corruption, greed. You know, if you think of COVID-19, the global financial crisis, anything that politics, anything that keeps people trapped in fear and anxiety and worry is pretty much third dimensional energy. And we live and work in it every day. But we can raise our consciousness and our thinking above it through practice and focused intent. And so the more we can not get dragged down into the emotion and the fear of everything that's going on in the world, doesn't mean we can't be compassionate about it, but the more we get invested in it and angry about it and everything, the more we actually add to the problem. And the harder it is to think positively and to think that we can actually rise above it and make a difference in the world. So around the world is something called the human collective consciousness. And the human collective consciousness is a conglomeration of every thought and word and feeling that ever emits from any human being. Because we're all in this together, which means we're all one, we're all connected. There's no separation. And so everything kind of connects. So that's why it's really important to be really mindful of your thoughts and try to be as positive as possible, to be aware that if you are angry or reacting in some way, that it comes from a belief system that you have, to be in control of those things. And it doesn't mean we can't have a bad day, but it just means that with awareness, you can actually turn it around and overcome it more quickly. So this is where we're heading to, or where it would be great for your consciousness to be, which is to see things more positively with love and to know that everybody has their own journey and to be more tolerant, more accepting of people and of yourself, to love yourself and accept yourself. And that is the key, I think, to being able to love and accept other people, and to then strive to maintain a higher vibrational thinking pattern. So basically, the third dimension then is a life of doing. So we just do life, don't we? We're doing, but sometimes we lose sight of what's important, and then we can just get sucked down into sweating the small stuff instead of really kind of appreciating the world around us. The fourth dimension is one of becoming, and becoming more aware of the impact of our thoughts and of our actions and of our behaviour and how it affects other people and other people's worlds, and also of how our beliefs and our thoughts actually are affecting our own behaviour. Everything that's happened in our childhood, good and bad, then influences what we believe about ourselves now. And if there's been a lot of abuse or trauma in your childhood, then that is certainly going to be impacting your behaviour and the way that you believe other people think about you and the way you perceive your world to be. And we create our own reality based on every thought that we think. So it's really important then to reflect on how we are creating our world with our thoughts. The fifth dimension is one of being. So we can just be in a state where we are happy enough to that we're creating a happier reality, and that we are happy with ourselves, and to just to keep creating that. A state of being is like just to be able to sit in yourself and be without thinking, without worrying. It's just appreciating what we have rather than worrying or ruining what we don't have, all of those kinds of things. Now, we don't just kind of work from one to another, and then when we get here, we're here all the time. We move between dimensions. We can do it within a sentence sometimes. And so that's why it's really important then to think about the things that we can do to help us to go from down here to up here. Everything has a vibration and a frequency. So light, of course, is a very high vibration, has a very high frequency, but then there are lots of levels within that. Colours, for instance, are light, but they all have their own different frequency. And so thoughts then, and words and intentions all have their own vibration, depending on the intention behind them, and also the way we've said them, you know. So you can say, I really love you so much, or yeah, I really love you so much. There's no comparison, is there? You can just, you know, and we pick those things up. So what we're putting out, we're going to get back, because like attracts like. So the law of attraction is a really strong thing in that, you know, if you think that you don't have enough money, you won't, because the universe will say, okay, well, that's what you want, you know. So today we're going to be talking about how we can change our reality to one that's more positive, and start to attract more abundance and more clarity and more positivity into our lives through a few little exercises that I've channeled that are practical, and ones that aren't too out there. They're easy to do, but just to make you aware of perhaps what you're putting out to the world, and how just a few different changes can actually really make such a big difference. So very briefly, I'm an advanced theta healing practitioner. So I have been taught about the planes of existence, but just the planes of existence don't just exist for people who've been trained in theta healing. The planes of existence are real and what we exist in every day. And the 7 planes are, the first plane are the minerals and the organic and non-living matter, so soil, minerals, that kind of thing. The second plane, plants and vitamins. The third plane is earth, so animals and carbon. The fourth plane is the spirit world. The fifth plane has 2 levels, but the upper fifth plane is the masters of light, the temples of light, the angels' garden, the archangels. The 6th plane are the laws and the Akashic records, and the 7th plane is the creator of all that is. Now, the 7th plane encompasses all the other planes, so we live and work within all planes of existence all at the same time. And within each plane, there are different dimensions and levels of consciousness. So we can be in the 5th plane and be working with the archangels, but be working at different levels depending on our vibration and how blocked or unblocked we are and our belief system and all that kind of thing. So the 7th plane is the only one that's unconditional. So it is God, but it's not religion. We don't need religion. Spirituality is about connection and feeling connected to source and feeling that we're empowered to create within the source of love. And in that high vibration, we can do anything we like. We can do anything we want. We can manifest wonderful things in our lives, but it's also, it is the plane where manifestations and instant healings occur. And if we have evil intent, we can certainly do it in there, but the karma will come back to bite us eventually. So we need to be very, very clear and very, very careful and positive with our thoughts when we're working within the unconditional love. But that is the highest source of energy. All other planes have vows and commitments that basically equate to transferring, trading, or sacrificing of energy. And so when we're working with the spirit world, say, we can actually take on ego, we can trade energy and lose one of our senses, or we can, it can be quite dangerous. And so if you're a healer and you're wondering why you're exhausted all the time, the best thing to do would be to connect to the unconditional love of Creator, and then you'll be protected. So that's the highest source, and it's with intention it is, because we're powerful co-creators. So the best thing to do is to just hold the intention that you're working with the unconditional love of the Creator, and just see, feel, or imagine the light coming around you, and then you're protected. So it's as simple as that. We're powerful co-creators, we're powerful manifestors. So intention creates, okay? Very, very strong on that. My father asked me for healing once, and I said, yep, I will, I'll do it. And at 3 o'clock he said, what did you do? Because the pain's all gone. And I said, well, actually, I haven't got to it yet. But I'd intended to do it, and so it was done. It's like, wow. You know, it's that quick. You really just, it's like if you intend that an archangel will be with you, then they're there straight away. Why don't we have to ask? Because we're all one. We're one and the same. There's no separation. We're all connected. So no one is any better than anyone else. Just because I know this stuff doesn't make me any better. It just makes me more tuned in and more wanting to help people to kind of experience the wonderful things that I do. Whether you're the queen or a pauper on the street, there's no separation, there's no difference. And so status and you know, all of those things. It's just an illusion. Separation is an illusion of the third plane of existence. And so when we believe that we can. And when we take our power as a co-creator, then we can create amazing things. So when you connect to that unconditional love, you're connected to the love and the bounty of the universe, and nothing's impossible. Okay, so the higher our vibration, then the more positive we'll be, and the more positive things will attract. So I just want you to think now, out of 10, how positive, energetic, and vibrant do you feel? I mean, if you just got up, you know, that's a bit tricky. But basically, in the last week, out of 10, just rate your vibration. How positive have you been thinking? How positive are you about the future? And it is a bit tricky with the COVID thing and everything. So now we're going to go into this exercise of how high your vibration is. And so that's why it's really important just to jot down your rating of that. So out of 10, 10 being really like high, fantastic, really vibrant, really positive, everything's great, to 1 being, yeah, I've got work to do. Okay. So now I'm just going to give you a little bit of time to just think about these. It would be really great to be able to jot them down and to finish these statements. So, and don't take too much time to think. It's the first thing that comes, okay? So today I feel, and the first thing that comes, and just write that down. Okay, when I look in the mirror, I feel or see. So this is just, we're just having a baseline of how positive or negatively we're vibrating at the moment in our consciousness. The third question is, I'm really grateful for, and if you can think of something, write it. If you can't think of anything, just write nothing. When I think about the past, I feel, okay, so I'll go back to the beginning. Today I feel, when I look in the mirror, I feel or see, I'm really grateful for. When I think about the past, I feel. The next one is, when I think about the future, I feel. And the last question, for me, life is. So then, how many positive words or positive feelings or thoughts there out of 6? So out of 6, how many were positive? So just write that number down. Okay, the next exercise is colour associations. As I said, colours have different vibrations and different frequencies. And so today you can see I'm wearing lots of different colours, which represent chakras, and to me it represents alignment, and I'm feeling really great and positive and happy. So the colours that we wear can represent our angels, they can represent how we're feeling, they can represent our energy levels at the moment. So just take notice of the colour that you're wearing and just start to notice and reflect on that and see if you can start to match it to how you are feeling in your ratings. Okay, so when you think of red, the color red, what's the first thing you think about that red is associated with? So just write the word down. It could be a feeling, it could be a thing, it could be anything. And remember, we're not overthinking. The first thing that comes, just write that down. When you think of yellow, what do you think of? So some people might write banana, and some people might write sun. So just the first thing. When you think of blue, when you think of green, so at the moment you're writing things probably, but we'll go back through and we'll write feelings or emotions next to them. So if you can, write a thing and a feeling or emotion, but otherwise we'll go back through again. Purple, orange, brown, pink, white, black. Okay, so we're wanting a thing and an emotion or feeling. So let's go back again. Red, yellow, blue, green, purple, orange, brown, pink, white, and black. So then go through. There are 10. Out of 10, how many really positive associations did you have there? And if you're not sure, just go with the feelings, not with the things. Okay, and the last one, now I'm taking my water bottle away, which is holding up my phone. Give a word to describe how you feel about yourself doing reading. So would you say you're a good reader? You know, how would you describe yourself there? Spelling, gardening, sewing, accounting or keeping up to date with the finances, maths, meditating, and cooking. Okay, so I'll go through those things again. If you were talking about yourself doing these things, what would you say? Reading, spelling, gardening, sewing, keeping up to date with the finances, maths, meditating, and cooking. What score out of 10 for positivity and the positive language that you used would you put? Okay, so when you go through, was it more negative or more positive? Did you say I'm really bad at that? That would be negative, okay? You say, yeah, I'm really great at that. That's really positive, okay? So then we had the first section was out of 6, and the next section was out of 10, and that section was out of 10. So 26 was the score. What was your score out of 26? So add up your positive scores. So if you got between 18 and 26, you're vibrating at a pretty high level. If you were from 10 to 18, you're going okay, but if you're below 10, then you're fairly negative at the moment, and your vibrations need assistance and help. And we're going to do some healing in a moment on that, with your permission. If you don't want to receive it, that's fine. You can just watch and listen while it comes in for other people. So just before we do that though, your answers are based on what's going on for you at the moment, but how we're thinking, really depends on everything that we believe. So what we believe, we create, and that our belief systems are based on how we were brought up, our upbringing, our religions and cultural beliefs, how we're treated by others or how we do treat others, our environment and how well that's treating us or not, our circumstances and the living conditions you're in, the food you eat, the TV you watch, the music you listen to, the people you interact with, how easy or hard your life is at the moment, media and the drama in the media. Tell you what, I watch cooking shows a lot because I love cooking. So it's just, it can really drag us down. How healthy we are, alcohol, drugs, and trauma from the past. So how we believe and our beliefs about ourselves, first and foremost. So if you have a negative belief system around yourself, then a lot of your answers about what you think about yourself would have been pretty negative. And we don't even realise that we're talking that way quite often. We'll just say things and self-sabotage ourselves all the time. So the more love we feel for ourselves and acceptance we feel for ourselves, and the stronger we are within our own identity, the more able we'll be to be resilient and look past the judgment of other people and be able to pull ourselves out of things a lot more quickly. The other thing that can really hold us back if we're empathic and sensitive to the feelings and emotions of others, and also that can equate to tapping into the human collective consciousness and just picking up energies randomly too, and that can be really quite distressing for some people. So all of those things will be affecting the way you think and how positively or negatively you're vibrating. But also some of those things will just be blocking you, and with a bit of a clearing, you'll find yourself feeling quite lighter and a bit more positive. So we hold all of these energies in our chakras, in our cells, in our organs, in our aura, and our bodies. We have a physical body, then we have an emotional body, which I would see as yellow. So if I were tuning into you and I saw red down here, I'd be saying, do you have a sore shoulder? Because I'm seeing red, and that's physical body. emotional body is yellow, then mental body is blue. Your spiritual body be anything from lilac to violet to white, and then your aura is around that. So, but we actually we hold fear in our stomach, we can hold fear, also an emotion in our kidneys, anger in our liver and bowel, bitterness in our gallbladder, so we hold all these things in our organs, and trapped emotions like that can really block the physical body and also cause illness. So the physical body is the only body that can tell you that something's wrong. And if you've got a physical illness that no one can find the cause for, it's not held in the physical body. It's only showing up in there to let you know that you've got trauma to clear, or forgiveness, or you're holding a grudge, or there's some kind of energy in there that just needs clearing. Grief also can cause a lot of issues as well. So better out than in is my motto, because the more we're holding in, the more we're clogging ourselves up. So we need to try to clear that. So I offer you now an energy clearing, and also some techniques that you can do every day to help make your thoughts and realities clearer and more positive. So the first thing I would like to do is just to do an energetic clearing for the collective, everybody who's on here now, listening and watching, and I cannot see any comments or who's on, so I feel like I'm talking to nobody, but hopefully I'm talking to quite a few people. So if you just close your eyes and give open permission for this healing, then I will call in Archangel Michael to facilitate this healing and clearing for the collective today. So just relax your body, and the first thing I'll do is connect to the creator of all that is and hold the intention of an unconditional love, chakra and energy clearing, balance and alignment and grounding for the collective on here for my workshop today, for their highest and best and in the highest and best way, with Archangel Michael facilitating. And then I just witness. So Archangel Michael is just now clearing your aura and releasing any psychic hooks or attachments, any wayward spirits, any negative energies, repairing any holes or tears, and then a light coming through your crown to ground you down to Mother Earth, and coming back up and putting them all straight. So that's called alignment. And then bringing some cleansing energy through each chakra, but going very slowly. We're at the throat at the moment, coming down further. A very slow cleansing of your chakras. So generally would go anti-clockwise to release negative energy, and then clockwise to put in positivity and higher energy, all the way down to your base chakra. And then clearing murky energy from the knees downwards and grounding you down into Mother Earth. And coming back up again, and some higher light coming in. Connection to your higher self. Some of you will have your soul star activated, and then coming down again to bring in higher light. So this is called activating the light body, and the light body is crystalline energy. And when your light body's in, it aligns you then to the crystalline grid, which is the light workers grid, and to all of that beautiful energy that can then strengthen you, but also to send collective healing to the earth. So if you're a world healer, then that's possibly happening for you. So just sealing up your aura now with Archangel Michael's beautiful blue shield, and making sure that you're all grounded and centered. Just breathe into your heart space. Okay, so what you can do now is just break your energy. So anytime you've been around a lot of people, particularly if you're working in other people's auras all the time, like hairdressing or in the supermarket or with the public, then this is called the kahuna break, where you rub your hands together and with your dominant hand, you zip up your aura and then you wipe energy out of your chakras and get rid of it. And then you can zip your aura up again, okay? Just zipping up your aura is an amazingly powerful thing to do, because when our aura is broken, or it's got holes in it, or it's depleted, we're more likely to absorb energies. And that will be when you're feeling tired, when you're angry, if you've been drinking a lot of alcohol, been around draining people, anything like that, had an operation or anything, then your aura gets depleted and you become more susceptible to other people's energies. So particularly at the end of the day, or when you leave work, just do the break and make sure you're all zipped up. Grounding very quickly is a really great thing to do. Just literally breathe your energy down right through your body, because if we're working in our head all the time, then our energy becomes very high and we just can become lightheaded and mindless, so not mindful of ourselves in our body. And so pushing your energy down and just being present in your body, grounding into the earth and just feeling that heaviness all the way through is a really good thing to do. And if you're just feeling overwhelmed, you can just stop, breathe it up, zip your aura up, center yourself, and then you feel more kind of present and a bit better. So the other thing you can do is to call on Archangel Michael. If you're really feeling out of sorts, call on Archangel Michael or the Archangel that you trust to come in and help you cut ties to people through the day, particularly if you've had a lot of people through your energy fields, and to ground and clear and protect your aura, and he'll do that straight away, and all your chakras and everything. You can also bring up the violet flame. So if you don't know how to do that yourself, call upon Archangel Michael, Saint Germain, Archangel Zadkiel, to bring up the violet flame of transmutation, which is that colour behind me. And it comes up, or my nails, which really need redoing. Bring it up and you just let go of all the negativity and frustrations and anger that you're feeling into the flame. It's an ethereal flame, like that. That's the violet flame there. Where am I? There. So bring it up, release it, and then you'll feel a lot better. So quite often if I'm getting frustrated or angry, I will call up the violet flame and just do that. So what we're going to do now is go through the 3 exercises again and just see if your score is elevated. A couple of other things I like to do. Frankincense is a really great essential oil to put through the aura. And that's spiritual connection, and it can actually help to strengthen your aura and even expand it. So that's a really good thing. If you find that you are really picking up a lot of energies, carry an amethyst crystal or a rose quartz and an amethyst, so you're anchoring your own love energy and you're repelling negative energies. If you need something heavy duty, black tourmaline's really good. Citrine's another one. So you might find those really helpful. And you might even just need to ground and connect a bit more often. Meditation is a great thing to do, just to really sit and be and just try to get out of your mind. If you find that difficult, maybe just go to the beach and stare at the water for a while, stare into the fire, or you can look on my website for the visual meditations that we have there. They're quite helpful for some people. Okay, so we're going to go back through and I'm going to get you to re-answer. So I want you to take away your first answers and redo these, and then you'll do your scores again and see how we go. Hopefully you're feeling grounded now, more centered. Okay, so answer again. Today I feel, just write down what comes in your head. Don't worry about what you answered before, just write down now. When I look in the mirror, I feel or see I am really grateful for. When I think about the past, I feel. When I think about the future, I feel. For me, life is. All right, add up your score out of 6 of how many positive things you said and answered. Today I feel. When I look in the mirror, I feel or see. I'm really grateful for. When I think about the past, I feel. When I think about the future, I feel. For me, life is. So add up your score there of how positive you were in your answers out of 6. Right, this time we'll go with just the feeling or emotion for the colour red, the colour yellow, blue, green, purple, it's a tricky one, purple, isn't it? Orange, brown, pink. We can't think of a feeling or emotion, maybe a state of being, perhaps. White and black, and I'll go through them again. Red, yellow, blue, green, purple, orange, brown, pink, white, black. So out of 10, how many positive vibratory answers do you have? So the exercise 3 was give a word to describe how you feel about yourself doing these things. Or it might be just a phrase if a word's a bit tricky. Reading, spelling, gardening, sewing, keeping up to date with finances, understanding maths, meditating, cooking. And again, out of 10, what is your score? And then add all of that up out of 26. And has it increased? Has your score increased since we've done that bit of clearing? And then go back to your rating out of 10 at the beginning of the session. I asked you to rate how you were feeling today out of 10, 10 being absolutely fantastic, jumping out of your skin, to 1 feeling like you need to go back to bed and stay there. So has your score increased there? So when you were answering questions about how you feel about yourself doing things, for me, I'm an expert reader. I'm an expert speller, although, you know, I'm always learning there. Gardening, I love gardening. Sewing, I enjoy sewing, but I could say I'm not particularly great at sewing, but then the way we phrase things can then create that reality and that kind of vibration around it. So you could say something like, I enjoy sewing, but it's not one of my strengths. I'm a better knitter. So then, and that's true for me. So at least I've put a positive spin on it, and it's not putting myself down. It's just acknowledging that it's not one of my great gifts, but I can sew a button on, so I have basic skills. So then I'm being a bit more positive. Keeping up to date with finances is a work in progress, but also I'm being helped by my son, and I've discovered the app Pocketbook, which is really handy. So I'm actually much better at doing that now. So that's really positive. So just if you found yourself saying, no, I'm not good at that, okay, how can you rephrase it so that it's more positive, so that you're actually talking yourself up more? I'm working at being better at that. I intend to practice that. I'm practicing that. Maths, it was difficult for me as a child, but as a teacher, I can teach the basic maths. So I'm numerate. I am more numerate than I am mathematical, and that's a positive. Meditating, I am good at meditating, and I enjoy teaching meditation and channeling new meditations for people. Cooking, I love, love, love cooking, and I cook from the heart. So I've turned all of those into positives. And so that's when you're talking, I encourage you in the next week to really be mindful of the words and thoughts that are coming into your head and out of your mouth, and to stop and cut and cancel and rephrase when you catch yourself saying something negative. And you'll be surprised at how powerful that is in maintaining and elevating your vibration and the way you're feeling about things. So Archangel Michael says we have 30 seconds to cut and cancel negative thoughts, and then to rephrase. So, but I would go for 15, because the longer we leave it, you know, the heavier it can be. So really just cut and cancel, and I'll rephrase that. And yeah, really powerful stuff. So the ascension of the earth then, so basically third dimension will always be here, and I have to finish in like, one clock's different to the other, 3 minutes. But basically the ascension of the earth depends upon everybody being mindful of their thoughts and working on lifting their past trauma and releasing negativity from their lives so that they can raise their vibrations to be more positive, because everything goes out to the collective consciousness and affects everything else. So we just need to be really mindful of how our thoughts, actions, words and behaviour impact other people in the world. Don't forget to look me up, join my page, The Spiritual Journey with Victoria Exhibitor, and find me at Victoria Cochrane, Psychic Communication and Spiritual Healer on Facebook. My page, my website is victoriacochrane.com. And if you would like to book a reading this afternoon, I have some times available, $45 for 25 minutes. I would love to connect with you. I haven't been able to see any comments or anything of how you've enjoyed this workshop. So come into my booth and let me know. Send me a Facebook message or something. My email is victoriacochrane44@gmail.com. And I do have a course coming up starting next week. It's an online course called Introduction to Safe Spiritual Practices, where I talk about connecting safely through the creator of all that is, talk more about what we've done today. It goes for 5 weeks. You can find it on Eventbrite. Make sure you scroll right down and see everything I've got there. The price is $77 per session. So it's on Saturdays from 2 till 4. If you feel that I can help you to connect to your own psychic and spiritual gifts, please have a look at it and connect with me. Now I'm going back to my booth, so I hope to see you there. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.